Ron, another message and another question coming here. Appreciate your time today.
You're welcome.
Ron, how will it work as we're preparing to ascend to 5D, but also we plan to use the QFS and LWS in their programs, which will initially occur in 3D experience? Will we eventually all just move to 5D? Any thoughts?
Yeah. We're preparing to ascend to 5D. Okay, let's take a look at that. We're ascending again to 5D. We're increasing our vibrations to get to 5D, and we don't really know what it's like until we create it in 5D. And so we're down here in 3D working in QFS and LWS. We're here on a particular mission, and it's not associated with. I inquired about my own, where I vibrate the most, and what, how much of me is in third dimension, and so on and so forth. And I was told, and I'm not sure if this is typical or untypical of everybody, but I believe most of those people in Loved One Society and the like are this way. Um, 86% of me is in fourth and fifth dimension. Now, this was a couple of years ago. That means that 14% is left to be in third dimension, and I had 1% that is in sixth dimension. So only 13% of me is in third dimension. Now, just this example is what I'm trying to say, because you can be in whatever dimension and still be functioning and playing the rules in the game in the third dimension to make the changes between third dimension and fifth dimension. We're changing the way we live. We're changing the love quotient that is interacting between our human species. We're changing all of that from the old stuff where we hate and distrust and deteriorate. We knock everybody down. We criticize. In my opinion, the worst part is that we judge. I was taught to, growing up, that my way of life is the only way that's going to create a place in the higher kingdoms. And I've come to the conclusion and knowledge that that's not true. I'm in fifth dimension a lot, and I'm also in third dimension doing my work. So can you see the difference? Can you see the fact that I'm working in as a fifth dimensional being and doing third dimensional stuff? My association is with people who are all over the pendulum, if you want to call it that, from third to fourth or fifth. I'm here doing my work. My biggest problem in doing the work in third dimension is that this is hell, and I don't want to be in hell. I want things to change, and that's what the desire of your heart, and it'll bring you to tears, because you can't just abide what's going on in this dimension, the way this earth is running right now. It's sad. It makes you cry. The people are being tortured to death, and their blood is being drawn and drunk by the bad guys. That makes you, it tears you apart. It's just hard to abide, and you don't want to stay here. But we came here to change this situation. And if we change our situation, then we get the whole earth moving into the fifth dimensional vibration, which eliminates the stuff that is bad, because that higher vibration they can't abide, they can't stay there. It's like them living in the oven. uh, we're ascending, so our bodies are getting used to the higher vibrational rates. But if they're not, then they can't abide the same location as far as dimensions is concerned. And this is what we're trying to change. It's not that we don't love them. It's nothing. Let's just get them involved in the ascension process as well. Let's all ascend together into the fifth dimension, and let each of us create that fifth dimension experience for what we want. I'm losing a lot of my dimensional, third dimension percentages. And it's making it very difficult. I'm going through ascension processes. I'm going through ascension symptoms, raising the higher vibration. And sometimes it's very painful. But we all got to go through it. I'm not unusual. We all have this calling. We're all doing what we're supposed to do. And we came down here to do it. It's not pleasant. We knew it wouldn't be. We're draining the swamp, getting rid of the monsters in there, and we're going to come out to the point where everything is a clear blue lake, beautiful streams, beautiful mountain scenes, beautiful nature, peaceful nature, gentle rains instead of torrents, nice rain that feeds everything life, instead of rivers that overflow and flood and destroy houses and stuff. There's no reason to have all that about us. And so we create the higher things, where those things, the higher vibrations, so those things can't abide with us. It'll just be perfect, because we're moving out of the bad stuff and into the good stuff. And it's difficult for those of us who are came down to do that. We're starseeds. We came from other locations where we've already done this before. And we're doing it again now for this earth, which is the prime creation in all of creation. Very few other places have an atmosphere and live on the surface of the earth, or surface of their planet. There's people on Mars, there's people up on the moon, I suppose. In any of the locations, Venus, there's people there, but they're living underground because they don't have the atmosphere for it. That's why Earth is so precious and worth saving, in my opinion. So again, we face the idea of a dimension, and let's not be separating it. We can live wherever we want and vibrate what we want, where we are. And if we have a higher dimension and come into the lower dimension, it's not easy. It can be painful. And we'll go through things that nobody else understands, or some others, that are going through the same thing can understand. But you look at some of these transgender and those things, I'd like to say there is all babies are girl babies until they receive a chrome, whatever it is, a gene, whatever, that changes their body to make them male. It's just one chromosome. And I wish I knew more about it. But they flood the food with that particular chromosome, and instead of a girl, it comes out a boy. And they're supposed to be a girl, and they come out a boy. And they try to go back, but it's just very difficult. We need to have love and empathy for these people. I can't stand being around gay people. It just makes me uncomfortable. It doesn't mean I can't love them. They've had to go through some bad things, and that was designed by the cabals so that they could destroy our family relationships and destroy our children. It's all part of the plan, their plan. So let's just allow ourselves to, as we're moving up in our dimensions and we see people that are a little lacking behind, let's have a lot of love for them. And maybe the love can change them. It can change them if there's enough. So let's just start pumping up our love and sending it out. Let's be a fire hose instead of a garden hose.
Okay, Ron, very good. Excellent, excellent answer. And with that, we will be right back with another question.